Hi, this is Corey and Everett's math project, and today we're going to be going over how to simplify rational expressions. Some definitions you'll need to know is the GCF, which I'm sure most people know, but it is the greatest number that two or more numbers can be divided by. So right here you're going to put divided. So if you have two numbers, they can both be factored by that one number. And it's the greatest one that can make them factor together. And then the binomial, an algebraic expression of the addition or the subtraction of two terms, and we'll get to that later on. So first of all, we're going to be going over a few example one example problem actually, just explaining how to do it, and then on the next few pages we have 4 more example problems to do. So here we have our binomial, and so right here we have the first step is basically to look for factors that are common to the numerator and denominator. So you're going to find the greatest common factor of these, right? And so you're going to take it, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to factor it. So 3x. So you're going to factor 3, or you're actually going to factor 3x. So you're going to take 3x right here because you have the 3x. You're taking out 3x, and you're going to do x minus 1 because 3x times x is 3x squared, and then minus 1 is 3x. So that's what we have there. And then you're going to put that over 3x. So right here, it would be 3x, or actually it would be 3x squared. So, or actually it'd just be x squared. So x squared, and then you're gonna subtract. So that makes it 2x, or you're gonna subtract. And then you're gonna take the last one, which is what it's equal to, and then you just add 1. So that's completely factoring it out right here. And then what you're gonna do is just cancel the common factor that they have. So you're gonna cancel it out right there. And then you're gonna find the common factors, where you're gonna find the other factors that are common to the numerator and denominator of this. Because once you get this, you're gonna cancel the common factor, and then it all comes out because x1. So you go x minus 1 over x minus 1, and then you take x minus 1 here, because this all separates out because you got x1 and then 2x and then the 1 right there. And then you're gonna take this, and then if possible, look for other factors that are common to the numerator and denominator. In our example, we can use FOIL in reverse to factor in x minus 1 in the denominator and further cancel this binomial from both the numerator and the denominator. So what you're gonna basically do is you're canceling these out, and then you're left with 1 at the top, which we're going to go to the next page now. Okay, so here it shows what happens. You cancel them, and here you have 1x minus 1. So after canceling, you're left with 1 over x minus 1. And okay, so the final simplified rational expression is valid. It's valid for all values of x except 0 and 1. In the beginning here, it says 3x is a common factor for the numerator and denominator. Note that it is clear that x cannot equal 0. So the reason x cannot equal 0 or 1 is because here, like for example here, we have, if x were to equal 1, it would be 1 minus 1, and that would be 0. So if 1 equaled 0, or if x equals 1, so it would be 1 minus 1 here. It would be 1 over 0, which cannot happen because it would be undefined. And x can also not equal 0 for the same reason, because it would be undefined also again. So if your x, you have to write it down for the answer of the problem. You always have to write that what number it cannot equal. So the final simplified rational expression is valid for all values of x except 0 and 1. Now to continue the worksheet, we're going to do the examples of simplifying rational expressions. So for number 1, we have y minus 5 divided by 6y minus 30. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to factor it out. So you're going to take y minus 5, and the only thing that you can factor out of this is 1. Because since this is technically 1y, you just don't write the 1. The only thing that you can multiply this by is 1. Or you can divide it by is 1. Because once you get 1 times y minus 5, since if you multiply 1 times y, it's y. If you multiply 1 times negative 5, it's 5. It's negative 5. So you're taking this, and you're just leaving out the 1. Since you can't factor this anymore, you actually don't really even have to write that at all. And then you're going to take this here, you're going to put it over, and the only thing you can factor out of this is 6, because 6 goes into 6 one time. So you're going to take out 6, and you're going to do y, and then 6 goes into negative 30, negative 5 times. So you're going to go like this, 6y minus 5 over, or 1 times y minus 5 over 6 times y minus 5. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to have to cancel these, because it's the same thing, so you just cancel them, because they're just going to end up equaling the same thing anyway. So your final answer is 1 over 6. Alright? That's your final answer. On to the second example now. It looks a little bit intimidating, but it's okay. And also it looks a little weird because I had to edit it, and I do not have any more printer ink, so I had to just write it out. Okay, so it looks hard, but it's not, again. So first of all, we need to factor these. We have to factor the top, right? And basically what you're going to do is find a number that multiplies, or two numbers that multiply to 12 but add to 8, right? So we're going to take 6 and 2. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. So we have x plus 6 and x plus 2, right? Because they add up to 8, or they add up to 12, or they add up to 8 and multiply to 12. And then you're going to put that over 3x, or x squared plus 3x minus 18. Two numbers that multiply to 18 and add to 3. What is the first thing that comes to my mind is 6, or negative 6, or 6, negative 6. 6? Is it 6 or negative? 6. 6 and negative 3. Yeah, 6 and negative 3. Wow, sorry about that. So we do x minus 3 and x plus 6. And then, from here, we are going to continue to factor these out. The next step of this longer equation is what we're going to need to do is factor it out. So we do have these, x plus 6 and x plus 6, which will cancel out, and we'll be left with x plus 2 right here over x minus 3. So x plus 2 over x minus 3, actually we don't need the parentheses here. This will be our final answer because we cannot simplify it any more than this. But x plus 2 over x minus 3 is our final answer. We still have 2 more examples to go over. Okay, for the third example, what you need to do is, so you're going to take out the GCF here, which is 2x, and you cancel it out, and you get 2x plus 1 over x minus 2x plus 1. And this is a trinomial, so you need to factor it out, so you use the diamond method. And you have to find out what adds up to negative 2 but multiplies to 1. So negative 1 and 1, and then negative 1 and 1 add up to negative 2, and negative 1 and 1 multiplied add up to positive 1. And so you get 2x plus 1 over x minus 1 and x minus 1. That's the simplest you can get, except you can write it as x minus 1 squared. So the answer is 2x plus 1 over x minus 1 squared. Okay, for example number 4, this is a word problem. It looks kind of annoying again, but again, it's just reading it and putting the other thing over the other thing. And so basically what we're going to do, so we're going to have x minus 1, right, which is the width. So you're going to determine the ratio of the area to the width. So we have x minus 1 over x squared plus 3x minus 4. So we have that, and then the first thing that we need to do is factor it. So the top one, what we can do is we can take 1 out, so it would be 1 times x minus 1. And then for this one, what can we take out? So for the bottom part, what we need to do is factor it. So what adds up to 3, but multiplies a negative 4, or x minus 4, or plus 4 actually, and then x minus 1, because 4 minus 1 is 3, and then that 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Okay, and then we're going to do, so these obviously cancel out, and what you're left with is 1 over x plus 4, and then that's all you can do. That is your final answer for this one.